Today I'm revisiting tater tots with a simpler, more straightforward approach to making them at home. The end result, well, it's a golden brown top with a fluffy interior studded with little bits of potato for great texture. It's nothing short of incredibly delicious, so let's get into it. Hot. All right, the first thing you gotta do is grab your potatoes, get them into a pot, and add some water. Make sure the pot you're using is large enough so you can cover these potatoes completely with water. The total weight of these two potatoes right here is about 1 1/3 pounds or 600 grams. All right, we're gonna get this pot over high heat. I'm gonna bring this water up to a boil, then reduce the heat and let the potatoes simmer for about 30 minutes. All right, it's been about 30 minutes and these potatoes are just ever so slightly soft to the touch. That's what we're looking for. They're not cooked all the way through, but this is gonna help release some starches, which will act as a binder, and it's gonna help give the tater tots kind of a nice fluffy texture. Now, I'm gonna let these chill out and cool down for about 10 minutes or until I can pick them up and handle them. All right, so these guys are cool enough now that I can handle them. And now the trick here is just to peel them, minimizing as much waste as possible. You want as much flesh from the potato as you can get, and use a paring knife if you need to, or you can just essentially carefully peel the skin right off the potatoes, just like this. Should only take a couple of minutes. There, just like that, nice and clean. All right, now grab yourself a grater and a bowl and start grating your potatoes through the large die of the grater. Use a large die. You don't want the pieces of grated potato to be too large, so just use short strokes when you're doing this, all right? And any pieces that break and crumble, you can just pass through. You know, just grab some of the stuff and just pass it through, just like that. Okay, I think we're done. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, then just take the tots and add them to a bowl, just like so. Make sure the bowl's big enough that you have room to work in it, all right? And to minimize oxidation, you know, when the potatoes just start to turn gray, we're gonna use a little bit of white vinegar. And I'm just gonna spray, toss a little bit, spray again, give it another toss, spray one more time. No need to go overboard here. You don't want your potatoes, your tater tots tasting like vinegar. You just want to add enough to slow down the oxidation process. There, that's good. Now we're going to add a teaspoon or about 6 grams of fine sea salt. Just going to season the tater tots a little bit. Then I'm going to add a tablespoon or about 10 grams of Wondra flour. Then I'm using a sifter here to get a nice even coating. I'm using Wondra flour because it's already cooked and I'm not gonna get that raw flour taste in my tater tots when I cook them. So I'm just gonna give this a gentle toss. I don't wanna overwork the shredded potatoes too much or else we'll release too much starch and then the texture kind of gets gummy and chewy. So this looks pretty good, okay? Now it's time to form our tots. To do that, grab some plastic film like this. Should be about 1 foot in length. That's a manageable size. All right, and grab a little bit of your tater tot mixture here, your shredded potatoes. Leave some slack on each end and just start to work your way across the film and just run a line of shredded potatoes all the way across. Again, leaving some slack on each side of the line of potatoes here. Almost done. You can press on them a little bit just to kind of compact the shreds. There, I think we're good. Perfect. Now what we need to do is roll this plastic up. So fold the plastic film over the tots and then just roll away all the way until the end. There. So we have this tube of shredded potatoes. Before we roll up the ends, you're gonna wanna poke some holes, just a couple, like that, maybe a few, in the plastic so any air that's trapped in this when I roll it up will escape and it'll compact all of the shredded potatoes nicely. So now just take the ends and twist like this. And it's going to give you a nice, compact piece or tube of potatoes. One more time, I have my potatoes laid out just like so. I'm going to wrap the plastic film over, and then I'm just going to roll it up. Just like that. Now, poke holes and twist the ends up. Just like that. And I just fold the plastic pieces under the little ends like that. And we're good. Alternatively, you can use a ring mold like this. Just stuff the inside with some of this potato mixture. Press down like that. And lift. And you have a tot. It's a little bigger, but it still does the trick. All right, guys, there's two methods here for you to try. You've got the ring mold method and you've got the plastic film method. There's an additional step over here of having to cut each log down into individual tater tots, but I still think that this method over here is a little bit faster, but I'll leave that for you to decide. All right, let's unroll one of these guys. So just find the edge like this. I usually cut the ends off at this point. And then typically just unroll it like that. Beautiful. Then I'm just gonna cut the end off, square it up, and then cut little tater tots. Just like this. This one's pretty good. Some of them might need a little bit of touching up, which is cool. Just push everything back into place and you're good to go. Just like this. All right, that does it. Let's start frying. All right, I have a neutral flavored high smoke point oil in my pot. It's hovering around 330, 340 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm just gonna drop these guys in a few at a time. You can't go all in at once. Just drop them around in the oil. Careful not to burn yourself. We're gonna let them cook for a minute and a half or so until they turn light golden brown. You really gotta watch them here. Make sure they don't stick together. Haven't really had much of a problem with that, but it could happen. Yeah, that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Delicious. If you're a little bit nervous working around hot oil, you can put some on the spider like this and just gently ease them in that way too. There's less of a risk that you're gonna burn your hands doing it that way. All right, I think that does it. I had one batch that got away from me, turned a little dark, but it's okay, we'll still eat them. All right, let's plate these guys up. I got a bowl, a little bit of parchment, and just dump them in here. All right, let's take a look inside one of these guys. Yeah. So you can see little bits of the shredded potato in there. That's awesome texture. Looks great. Kind of looks like a tater tot, right? Of course, with tots, you gotta have something to dip them in, so here's some homemade ketchup. There's a link to the recipe up above. I'm gonna dig in. Dude, these are real deal. Better than anything you can buy at the store, hands down. Try this recipe out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up. I think that's going to do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.